you. I'm gonna check. Can I be heard? Hello? Alright. Just being sure. Should be fine now, right? Yep. Okay. Last stream I finished the very long tutorial trial. That was very loud. Main character, Ryunosuke, was tried for murder, but soon we figured out, well, of course we knew this, but figured out who the culprit was, because we weren't the person who killed Dr. John H. Wells, but it was Giselle Brett, another British person visiting Japan. Okay. But we also found out that she won't be tried in Japan because of the, I think, consular court, which just means we won't be able to see. We won't know if she's going to be tried for those crimes. So, in other words, that sucks. Just need to promote one more time, and that's on a specific server I want to be in. There it is. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Unbreakable Speckled Band.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Oh man, my birthday.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What?
Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Holmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
My head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you're awake now, I'm struggling whether I should do it or not. I'm not going to do it. Whoops. I do not believe how you cannot. I do not believe how you cannot wake up. You cannot wake up. Okay, you are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then? You found me then. Da. We found you, and you now must pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found, it is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh, that's not the voice. Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Usado. Wait, what did you say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend to you do not know? You're all wolf in sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma's body was discovered not too long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. Then these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Oh, I'm sorry, hold on a second. Okay, that should be better. Alright. Did you find fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me too, as to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor, I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I had broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you can find yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What's going on with me? Do I have too many windows open? That might be it. Hold on a second. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? That was the weirdest inflection. From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there. I think it won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I'll tell you what. Why don't you write keep out or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. I've been struggling to read for some reason. I don't know why. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How could this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make much trouble for yourself. Trouble? Is that what it is? Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer. Duh, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there's something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Kazuma's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? Kazuma's cooler? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. There's a... whatever. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window. And the bolt on the door can't be operated from the inside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit could have escaped through these four walls. Couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What possibly? What happened exactly? Hold on. I'm hydrated. Well, I'm going to be hydrated. If I'm gonna be doing voices, I gotta be prepared. Excuse me. Let me check the users in the chat. Alright. Are you still going to deny the charge? Even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san. You have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. Obviously, it's gonna be that stupid snake. You don't know how he died? The ship's doctors examined the body, of course. He has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until, excuse me, an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably, that means there are no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Yes. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in the cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Please. Whatever you say. You were in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but he would always wake before dawn and do the training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on his voyage. But this morning he's not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door? I wonder. I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door and went open. I forget the word open. And when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. It's all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes? Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Why are you even on board the ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma's cabin for so long without me noticing? No. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? Thought you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London's at the spearhead of cultural development and the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can't there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-san he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes, though. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san? I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowaway on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right. Yes. Wow. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even, stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable. Really, I do. But it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. I'm already looking around the room just to see if there's any, like, evidence. So from what I've noticed in from the last trial and currently this case is that we might deal with more internal causes of death rather than external. Because I played Ace Attorney 1 through 3. I didn't play all the way through 3, but enough to know that most of it is from killing with a weapon or pushing them to their death or anything like that. The only time I remember poison, but the only time I remember there being poison involved was, I would think, the second or third case in Trials and Tribulations was the third game, but that was when people knew it was poison. So in here, obviously, it's going to be venom. Venom is a kind of poison anyway, but still. So Yeah, so, and because of how hard it is to identify that because of the time period, most likely that's going to be a big subject within at least this first game, maybe. So far, it's been 2 cases. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh. I can't take this. I can't. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. I can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? Or slithers? No. I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? Take it to court? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to excuse me. Oh my god! What the? That was a Susato takedown. Susato, what? What martial arts form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry, prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... I've forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defend yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present, do I have anything in the court record? Hey yo, I was right! I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence now. Yes. Tell me, when I was discovered in a wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or any crew member decided to step in to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, how could I have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own? Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Or you could have been in there after you let out a snick. Well, if you are sprawled hopeless on the floor, I can see why Kazuma thought so highly of you. I'm not saying something anymore. Thank you, Sasato-san. That was a lot of S's. Now, do you think perhaps you can help me up? Fuck is that on the floor? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me. Well, question, but whatever. I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. Can't rule out the possibility that you use some sort of conjuring trick. Why does she think I am a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright. Let's get to work. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do. You do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear. I will avenge your death. Your death. Huh? Sorry, I'm only gonna read when there's something important. What do you think this is? Looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. And the glass is such a beautiful color. Looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? In the market side, what is it? I wonder. It has some sort of brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. Then I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage? Oh, not a question. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine. I suppose he was trying to write, leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. Because it's Russian. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. You were there. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean? I wonder. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. a hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, it looks like it connects to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear too, you're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the other room, surely it would, should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. This is, yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean contraption? I read about it in the book. I was studying that, something that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. Wow, she just wanted to do it. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone's busy, that's all. Lowly, damn. This is where oh, did I collect anything? No, okay. This is where Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be valuable clue. Why? That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed, but you must not read his private thoughts. What if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Who's that? He wasn't there a moment ago. As far as I could tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he knows that man too? Have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he visiting Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press X on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Suspiciously tall. I'm gonna examine things first. It's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese. Which in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a societal takedown. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled the same way. What's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and even mown down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Cosmo doing his morning sword training. Do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage? I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books in a statue. Could the way things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set up everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Kazuma's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on the ship. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. Sorry. I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. My dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susan-san. I ate the table, of course. Which begs the question, when and how the plate ended up on the floor? But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Cosmo spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. There are these rules of passage for travel on board the SS Buria. Excuse me. Let's switch seats. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. I guess I'll talk to Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you have a moment? Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Perhaps that would be the be for the best. Whoops. Ah! Why exactly were you... What exactly were you doing on Cosmo's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking straight through me. Right straight through me. Whatever. Ah, yes. Everything's clear now. The train of reason has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. No! Sorry. What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well that's true at least. But how? Oh my god, if you ask how does he know that? How the deuce did I know that? How the deuce did I know that? Perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction. Hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? Of course. A great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the Beriband. Alright, I knew that. When the beriband occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Excuse me. Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Ooh. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. What the? It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way I... Oh my god. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary. Obviously. Oh, forgive me. As for you. As for you. What kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Was venturing toward foreign climes? You do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England. and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you call it a deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. I like the way I'm reading it. Of all deduction. My method is found upon the observation of trifles, you see. Oh my god. Announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. I'm none other than the greatest detective of all of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you? The actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Great detective. So you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? You know. Oh, I see. You're German. Herlock? Was it? No, I have no her. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh, yes. Rant magazine. Full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Did I say series? I meant to say stories. Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I am not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biography records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson. Presently keep a shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is, to me, a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? I'll be right back. I am back. The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, and all these things are data. Right. and the trained logician makes the deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. An ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated in a few short moments ago. How can you look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about this? Particular case yet? Haven't managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? My dear fellow. Excuse me. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding spot? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I suppose all the crew members, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open, and concealed myself among the number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board, and the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? 2 facts, you say? I like that it just turned, so I don't have to ask him again about Kazuma's death. Tell us, please, what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Yes, but first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Holmes, what do you mean the victim is Russian? Observe the dimension. Message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma would have left a dying message in Russian? And if I was, then you find their native tongue filling their head. Oh, of course. Kazuma was Russian? Was he? Sorry, I need to... Initially, I consider a garderobe maybe the name of the killer. A certain Robert Card, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong to not look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Wait. Okay, I was right. Quite so. found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. Of the victim and message that I might okay. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away. Right, when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Narahara? Oh, yes. Thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Holmes? What, may pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, did you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that, yes, the train of reason that led me to the truth. Can I explain that the train of reason to me? Do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Famous, accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in? Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian, not revolutionary, and assassin of 16 part? I guess, the more sordid details. It was fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary Vilna Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday. And last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? Sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma someone wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of the crime was a merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape the true identity. His true identity was discovered. Okay, this is bothering me. Hold on a second. Okay. One who will kill the very man who escaped him to escape after. Who helped him? Okay. Who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, Vilna Bolshevik. No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learn to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims? Okay, we're just gonna be talking about this now. The journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds the man was perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There could be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reports? I wonder. And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article on the back of the on the back. I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you've noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Solms. It's quite the disappearance of a young lady like this time. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Oh my God! Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear this woman was in costume when she was found missing in her wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured. I think after this examination, I'm gonna take off for a little bit. Yeah. There's a lot of talking. Another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country. It just seems to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Just this last thing. Before we started talking, you were examining, you know what? No. I guess we'll just save both of these. Alright. This is gonna be a trend. Revitalized. Alright. That's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna stream later on today. So, sign.